is about a $5 cup of coffee. Skip the daily latte, invest the difference, and you'll retire a millionaire. You've heard it. Your parents heard it. It has sold millions of books, launched 1,000 budgeting apps, and ruined coffee for an entire generation. And the internet's favorite response is, the latte math is fake. So we ran it. And here's the uncomfortable part, the part that makes this episode different from every debunk you've seen. The math checks out. The latte factor is real. And it's still some of the worst prioritized advice in personal finance. Both of those things are true at once. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why and what the $5 was distracting you from. Meet the boys again. Same income, same city, same coffee habit. 1 latte a day, $5.50 each. Chris does what the book says. He quits, buys a machine, brews at home. And we'll count it honestly, which the book never did. Home coffee isn't free. Beans, milk, the machine. Call it 50 cents a cup. So Chris's real savings are $5 a day, $152 a month, into an index fund, every month, for 30 years. 10,950 skipped lattes. Derek keeps his latte, every single day, guilt-free. Instead, Derek spends one afternoon, making 3 moves. He negotiates his salary, once, 20 minutes of discomfort, $5,000 a year, and here's the part people miss. Every future raise compounds on the higher number. That raise never stops paying. He adopts one rule. He buys 3-year-old cars instead of new ones, forever. Someone else eats the depreciation cliff. Average saving, $250 a month. And once a year, he spends 1 hour reshopping his insurance, his phone plan, his subscriptions. The boring audit, $120 a month on average, for people who actually do it. Everything both men save goes into the same fund at the same 10%, before inflation, as always, 30 years. Go. First, the claim itself, the original one from the book, $5 a day, 41 years, 11% returns. Everyone says it's made up. Nobody runs it. We ran it. $152 a month, 40 years at 11% is $1,113,000. The famous number is real. The Latte Millionaire exists, on paper. So why does it feel like a lie? Because look at what it's standing on. 11% every year for 4 decades. That's above the long-run average, chosen because it makes the number round. 40 years, meaning the advice works if you start at 25 and never miss a day until you're 65. Rerun it on honest terms. 30 years at 10%, $313,000. At a conservative 7, $177,000. Now, pay attention to what just did not happen. The number didn't go to 0. $313,000 is real money. The internet's "it's all fake" crowd is as wrong as the book. Small amounts, compounded for decades, genuinely become large amounts. That's not a scam. That's the only honest magic in finance. The problem was never the math. The problem is what the $5 was pointing you away from. 30 years later, Chris has skipped 10,950 lattes every morning for 3 decades, a small act of discipline. His reward, $313,552, genuinely earned, genuinely his. Derek, who drank every single latte, opens his account. The salary negotiation, growing with every raise for 30 years, $839,000. The used car rule, $515,000. The boring annual audit, $247,000. $1,602,914. The gap, $1,289,000. In Derek's favor, with a latte in his hand. Here's the frame that should change how you look at every piece of money advice forever. Don't ask what a habit is worth. Ask what each act of the habit is worth. Chris performed 10,950 acts of discipline. Divide his $313,000 across them. Every skipped latte was worth $28.63 of future wealth. Real, not nothing. 29 future dollars per small daily no. Derek performed 1 act, one 20-minute conversation with a manager, worth $839,000 future dollars. $29 per act, versus $800,000 per act. That's not a difference in discipline. Chris had more discipline, 30 years of it. Daily. It's a difference in aim. Personal finance culture spent 40 years teaching people to point their discipline at the smallest numbers in their life, because small numbers are visible daily and big numbers hide inside 3 or 4 decisions you make once. And that's the real damage, not the coffee, the training. The Latte advice teaches you that wealth lives in deprivation, that the path to rich runs through 1,000 small daily no's. So people police the $5 cup and then sign a $700 a month car loan without negotiating a cent, because nobody ever made them feel guilty about the big number. Guilt was reserved for the visible one. There's a name for what happens next, and you already know it from another part of life, the crash diet. Deprivation budgets fail the way crash diets fail. White knuckle for months, one bad week, collapse, guilt, repeat. Meanwhile, the structural stuff, the rent, the car payment, the never negotiated salary, sits untouched because it was decided once, quietly, years ago, and nobody's watching it. You cannot latte skip your way out of a bad big decision. The arithmetic isn't close. One wrong car buys back a decade of skipped coffee. One unnegotiated salary buys back all of it. Twice. Now the honest other side, because the latte advice keeps getting recommended by smart people, and there are 3 real reasons why. 1. Not everyone has Derek's levers. If you're at minimum wage, the negotiation lever barely exists. No car, nothing left to audit. Then the small leaks are the game, and $150 a month may be the entire difference between compounding something and compounding nothing. The latte advice is genuinely correct for the person with no bigger dials to turn. The failure is selling it to everyone else first. 2. The gateway effect is real. For a lot of people, the latte was the first time they connected a daily choice to a 40-year number. That awareness, noticing that money is a system, has to start somewhere, and it usually starts small. Fine. Just don't let the gateway become the destination. 3. And it's this show's oldest rule by now. The plan you'll actually follow beats the plan you won't. Some people genuinely can't make the negotiation call. The daily habit for them isn't the weak strategy. It's the executable one. A worse plan you execute beats a better plan you abandon. Episode 4 in a row. And one catch that eats both men equally. Savings that don't get invested are worth 0 either way. Skipped latte money that sits in checking becomes new shoes by March. The transfer has to be automatic, or the entire conversation is fiction. And here's the ending. The debunkers never give you, because we ran one more number. Chris's strategy plus Derek's strategy, together, $1,916,000. It was never either or. It was a priority order. Fix the big 3 first. Income, housing, transport. The decisions you make once that echo for decades. Then, if skipping the latte doesn't hurt, skip it too. It's a real $29 a pop. And if the latte is the best part of your morning, buy it. Buy it with both hands. A man with a negotiated salary and a used car has earned his $5.50 oat milk latte, mathematically. Frugality is a budget line. It was never supposed to be a personality. The real trap isn't the latte, and it isn't the spending. The real trap is measuring your discipline by how often you use it instead of what you point it at. Next time, the number your entire retirement is probably built on. The 4% rule, quoted in every retirement thread on the internet, and based on a study of markets from before most of you were born. We reran it on modern numbers, and what happened to that 4 should worry you. That's the next episode. Until then, run the numbers. All of them. Confess in the comments. What's your latte? The small thing you police. And what's the big call you've been avoiding? I read all of them. Nothing in this video is financial advice. It's education and entertainment. Your income, your habits, and your coffee are yours. Run your own numbers or talk to a licensed advisor.